What you should know about atomic habits. We all have bad habits we'd like to get rid of and good habits we'd like to develop. But changing our habits is much easier said than done. According to James Clear, author of Atomic Habits and one of the world's leading experts on habit formation, if you're struggling with your habits, the problem is not you. It's your system. Without the proper system for change, you'll never be able to meaningfully change your habits, whether bad or good. Why does this matter? Because changing your habits is tantamount to changing your life. Every aspect of you, from your health to your relationships to your professional success, is a product of the habits you've developed. Habits can cause you harm or propel you forward. Clear says, just as atoms are the building blocks of molecules, atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. Changes that may seem insignificant at first rapidly compound to create remarkable results. Fortunately for us, atomic habits gives us the proven system we need for long-term habit change, and it's easier and more straightforward than you might think. In the book, James Clear draws on well-proven ideas from biology, psychology, and neuroscience to create an easy-to-understand guide for making good habits unavoidable and bad habits unappealing. He provides practical strategies that will show you precisely and formulaically how to form good habits, break bad habits, and master those tiny actions that eventually lead to extraordinary results. About the author. James Clear is a writer, author, and speaker focused on the science of habit formation, behavior change, continuous improvement, and human potential. He is renowned for his ability to distill complicated topics, such as human behavior and habit formation, into simple behaviors and systems that can be easily applied to daily life. Key takeaway 1. Tiny habits have big power. James Clear writes that success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. According to Clear, your success in any part of your life is simply a lagging measure of the habits, good and bad, you have. For example, your net worth is a lagging measure of your financial habits. Your knowledge and skills are a lagging measure of your learning habits. Your weight is a lagging measure of your eating and physical activity habits. The small individual actions that you repeat over and over again are what form the basis for everything in your life. If you want to see where your life will end up, simply follow the curve of the tiny gains or losses created by your daily habits. As you've probably realized by this point in your life, habits can be good or bad. They can work for you or against you. Even those habits that seem purely neutral can have an extraordinary effect on your success once you cross a critical threshold. That's why when you seek to change your life by changing your habits, you must be patient. You may not see huge results right away, but you certainly will soon enough. According to Clear, an atomic habit is a tiny habit that is part of a larger system. Just like atoms are the building blocks of molecules, atomic habits are the building blocks of astonishing success. So if you want to change your life for the better, don't worry about setting goals. Instead, concentrate on creating systems for success. Systems thinking is not about a single accomplishment or goal. Instead, it's about building a system of constant and endless improvement. It allows you to be happy wherever you are in the process. No need to wait until you reach your goal. As long as you're always improving and following your system, you're always successful. Clear cautions that when it comes to creating tiny habits, be careful to never miss your habit twice in a row. Missing a habit once is okay. It's just an accident. Missing twice means you're starting a new habit that is inconsistent with the one you're trying to form. He recommends using a habit tracker to keep track of your progress. A habit tracker can be a list of habits in a notebook or an app on your phone. You just need a visual cue that reminds you to act and motivates you to maintain the habit. Clear writes that if you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day for 1 year, you'll decline nearly down to 0. What starts as a small win or a minor setback accumulates into something much more. How motivating and empowering is that? Key takeaway 2. You can build better habits in 4 simple steps. A habit is a behavior that you've repeated so many times that it becomes automatic. The purpose of habits is to solve life's questions and problems with as little effort as possible. All habits can be broken down into a feedback loop that involves 4 steps. 1. Cue. 2. Craving. 3. Response. And 4. Reward. Thus, when you want to form a new behavior, the first thing you should do is ask yourself the following questions. How can I make it obvious? How can I make it attractive? How can I make it easy? How can I make it satisfying? Make it obvious. When you make a desired behavior obvious, you are providing a trigger or cue to your brain to initiate the behavior. Cues are often things like time and location. For example, the cue to brush your teeth may be walking into the bathroom in the morning. The cue to work out may be the tennis shoes you placed next to your bed. Make it attractive. When you assign meaning to a cue, you create a craving. Your brain assigns an emotion or desire to your current situation. This means a craving can only occur after you have noticed a cue. When you notice a cue, you experience the craving that is the motivational force behind every habit. In other words, cravings are triggered by cues. Habits are attractive when they satisfy a craving. Make it easy. There should be as few barriers as possible between you and the behaviors you hope to perform. Make it as easy as possible to fall into the behavior. If the desired behavior is to drink a glass of water as soon as you wake up, put the water on your nightstand before you go to bed. If the desired behavior is to get out of bed without hitting snooze, put your alarm clock in a different room at the loudest possible setting. If the desired behavior is to spend less time on social media, remove the social media apps from your phone. If the desired behavior is to go for a walk during your lunch break, invite a colleague to go with you at a certain time so that you have both a reminder and accountability. Set yourself up for success in whatever way possible. Make it satisfying. The behavior should satisfy your craving. If it does, you'll repeat the behavior and it will become a habit. Key takeaway 3. Habit stacking is the best way to start a new habit. According to Clear, in building new habits, one thing you can use to your advantage is the connectedness of human behavior. What does this mean? It means that you can make building new habits easier by identifying a current habit and stacking the new habit on top of the existing one. This is known as habit stacking. Habit stacking works because your current habits are already built into your brain and have been strengthened and reinforced for months or years. When you link new habits to old ones, you're able to take advantage of existing circuitry, and it's more likely that you'll stick with the new habit. Here's the formula for habit stacking. After, before, insert current habit, I will, insert new habit. Here are some examples of habit stacks. While I drink my cup of coffee each morning, I will read for 10 minutes. After I get into bed each night, I will meditate for 5 minutes. Before I sit down to lunch, I will silently express gratitude for 3 things in my life. After I clean up the dinner dishes, I will do some standing stretches. While I drive to work, I will listen to a personal development podcast. After I take off my clothes after work, I will immediately change into my workout clothes. Before I take a shower, I will text a loved one words of appreciation or encouragement. Once you've gotten the hang of the basic structure of habit stacking, you can work on chaining many small habits together to create larger habit stacks. This will allow you to create whole routines of good habits. Here's an example of a habit stacking morning routine. After I wake up, I will meditate for 2 minutes. After I meditate, I will pour my coffee. While I drink my coffee, I will write in my journal. After I write in my journal, I will write my to-do list for the day. After I write my to-do list for the day, I will immediately begin on the list's first task. Here's an example of a habit stacking after-work routine. After I get home from work, I will change into my workout clothes. After I work out, I will prepare dinner. After I prepare dinner, I will tidy the kitchen before eating. While I eat dinner, I will ask my partner and children about their days. After eating dinner, I will wash the dinner dishes. After washing the dinner dishes, I will play with my children for 30 minutes. Key takeaway 4. You can make new habits irresistible. Forming new habits may sometimes seem difficult or impossible, but remember the second step of habit formation. Make it attractive. The more attractive a behavior is, the more likely it is to become a habit. According to Clear, habits are a dopamine-driven feedback loop. When dopamine rises, so does the motivation to act. One of the easiest ways to make your habit more attractive is temptation building. Temptation building is simply pairing the desired action with an action you already enjoy. As Clear says, fun gets done. If good habits were always inherently fun, you'd probably already be doing them. But you can make them seem fun by pairing them with things you enjoy. This strategy is based on a psychology theory known as Premack's principle. The theory is named after the work of Professor David Premack and provides that more probable behaviors will reinforce less probable behaviors. In other words, even if you don't think it's all that fun to run on the treadmill, you'll be more likely to do it if you watch your favorite Netflix series while you run. Eventually, you'll become conditioned to look forward to your run because you look forward to enjoying your show. So, to form a new habit, combine that habit with something you love. If you love podcasts but hate cleaning your house, listen to your podcasts while you clean. If you love sitting on your patio in the morning but can't get yourself to meditate, spend the first few minutes of your time outside meditating. Another way to make new habits more attractive is to surround yourself with people who already have those habits. The people around you have a huge influence on your behavior. Clear writes about astronaut Mike Massimino, who took a small robotics class when he was a graduate student at MIT. 4 of the 10 people in that class became astronauts. Similarly, a study found that the higher your best friend's IQ at age 11 or 12, the higher your IQ would be at age 15. We underestimate how much the traits and habits of those around us soak into us. Key takeaway 5. How to make bad habits unattractive. The inversion of the second law of behavior change, make it attractive, is to break bad habits by making them unattractive or even impossible. Clear writes, every behavior has a surface-level craving and a deeper underlying motive. Habits, he says, are actually caused by the predictions that precede them. These predictions lead to a feeling. Habits are our mind's solution to this feeling. Habits become attractive when we associate them with positive feelings and unattractive when we associate them with negative feelings. All of the habits that you currently have, whether good or bad, are there for a reason. In some way or another, you get some benefit from the habit, even if they are bad for you in a general sense. Sometimes the benefit is biological, such as the habits of smoking or abusing drugs. Sometimes the benefit is emotional. In many instances, the bad habit is simply one way of coping with stress. Biting your nails, clenching your jaw, and overeating are examples of such habits. Since bad habits provide some type of benefit to you, you likely won't be able to simply eliminate them. The idea that you can easily stop doing a bad habit is ill-informed. Instead, your best strategy is to replace a bad habit with a new habit that provides a similar benefit to you. For example, if you have a habit of overeating when you get stressed, then the plan of simply not eating when you feel stressed is not going to be very effective. Instead, you should come up with a different way to deal with stress and insert that new behavior instead of having something to eat. Perhaps chewing gum would work, or enjoying a hot beverage, or spending a few minutes in deep breathing, or listening to music, or calling a loved one. Bad habits address certain and very real needs in your life. That's why it's better to replace your bad habits with a healthier behavior that addresses that same need. You cannot expect yourself to just eliminate bad habits without replacing them. If you try to do this, you will have certain needs that will be unmet. So, to break a bad habit, first choose a substitute for your bad habit. You must have a plan ahead of time for how you will respond when you face the need or emotion that triggers your bad habit. Another thing you can do to help break bad habits is to remove as many triggers as possible from your environment. If you want to quit smoking, throw out all your cigarettes and try to reduce stress in your life as much as possible. If you want to stop eating sweets, get rid of all the sweets in your house. If you want to stop biting your nails, keep your nails trimmed down. Change your environment and you can change the outcome. Big Picture Recap. An atomic habit is a practice or routine that is 1. Small, 2. Easy to do, and 3. The source of incredible power and compound growth. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Changes that seem small and unimportant at first will compound into remarkable results if you maintain them for years. If you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system or habits instead. Bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you don't want to change, but because you have the wrong system for change. Good habits form when you use them to meet your needs and desires. The 4 laws of behavior change are a simple set of rules we can use to build better habits. They are 1. Make it obvious. 2. Make it attractive. 3. Make it easy. And 4. Make it satisfying. Clear's habit formulas are: implementation intention, I will behavior, at time, in location. Habit stacking: before, after, during current habit, I will, new habit. Habit stacking plus temptation bundling. Our take on atomic habits. James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, is a continuation of his popular blog articles. In Atomic Habits, Clear combines theory, science, anecdote, and strategy to provide concrete, actionable advice on how to establish good habits and get rid of bad ones. Clear's writing is simple, straightforward, and accessible without a lot of fluff. He gives you techniques that help you create systems that will maximize your potential and abandon those behaviors that have been holding you back. I truly believe that if we put into practice Clear's advice, we can achieve long-term behavior change. The book is very illuminating, especially with regard to how our environments, including the people we spend time with, influence our behavior. Atomic Habits is certainly not the first book to be written on habit formation. In fact, it shares a lot of advice with Charles Duhigg's The Power of Habit. Even so, it's a must-read for anyone who is interested in using habits and systems to change their lives in a dramatic way. It caused me to completely rethink how I spend my day. If you are willing to give your behaviors and habits an honest look, Atomic Habits will help you take inventory of what you'd like to change in your life and how to get there. It's clear and effective, and Clear seems to feel pretty confident that if you implement his advice, you'll achieve the results you're looking for. Action steps to take today. 1. Identify the areas in your life you would like to change or improve. 2. Make a list of the bad habits you would like to replace. 3. Make a list of the good habits you would like to build. 4. For each bad habit, identify the triggers and/or desires underlying the habit. Then write down healthy replacements that will satisfy those triggers or desires. 5. Write down a list of implementation intentions to build your desired good habits. Example, I will, behavior, at, time, in, location. 6. Come up with some habit stacks to build your good habits. Example, after current habit, I will, new habit. 7. Envision your environment both at home and at work. What are some changes you can make to encourage good habits and avoid triggers of bad habits? 8. Make a list of people who can form mentorships or relationships with to help you form better habits. 9. Find an accountability partner or multiple partners. 10. Create a motivation ritual you can perform immediately before a difficult habit. 11. Identify some rewards you can give yourself after completing a difficult habit. 12. Come up with a way to track your habits every day. Summary of Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones, by James Clear, by Speed Reader Summaries, narrated by Scott R. Pollock.